Yeah, like an old house, you don't really know until you start uncovering things. So just to have a contingency, an emotional contingency and a financial as well.
Welcome to Style Stories, brought to you by Easy Living Interiors, helping you transform your space and create the feeling of home. You love interiors, we love interiors, so let's talk about it. I'm Laura and you're very welcome to another episode of Style Stories with Easy Living Interiors. I'm always drawn to the stories behind real homes, especially the ones that don't start out perfect. The places that take time and patience and a lot of hard work and rolling up the sleeves before they begin to feel like home. Today I'm joined by Gráinne Gillett, who bought a small period cottage with a simple plan in mind and found herself deep in a full renovation from the ground up. We talk honestly about the learning curve, designing a compact space, and how confidence in your own style grows along the way. This is an episode that you'll want to settle into. So let's get into it. Hello, how are you? Welcome to Sandyvert.
Thanks for having me, Laura.
Yeah, you're very welcome. How are you today?
Yeah, very good, yeah. Even though it's pouring rain outside. But
pouring rain, but you were cozy in here.
Yeah, very cozy.
So for anyone who hasn't followed your renovation online, can you paint a picture of the home that you bought when you first stepped in? What was the feeling?
So I bought my house back in 2022. So I was viewing a few places around Dublin and I fell in love with this little cottage. It was end of terrace. It had nothing but potential. There was a lot to look past, but like I knew I wanted to put my own stamp on a property. So small red brick. It had that awful like red colour paint on the front, brown, awful painted door on the front. And then inside it was like granny wallpaper, florals, fake wood panelled walls. It was kind of dark, but it was a south-facing garden, had a big garage at the back of it, and I just fell in love with it. Like the hallway was so nice. It was so like kind of grand for the size of the house. Like the ceilings were so high, and it was in a good location. And yeah, I just knew as soon as I walked in, I was like, this is my house.
Mm-hmm. And the shower in the kitchen.
Yeah, there was a shower in the kitchen. So the house didn't have an actual proper bathroom. It had a small WC under the stairs, which was absolutely freezing. And then there was a shower cubicle in the kitchen. But like that didn't bother me because I knew I'd have to put work into the house anyway. So like I could easily look past the shower in the kitchen. It was just a bit of a quirk.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's fun though. And I saw as well you shared things that you found in the house. So there was like newspaper clippings and bones and coins and really random things.
So many newspapers, because for insulation back in the day and like in the like 50s and 70s, they would have just shoved newspaper into the walls to like heat the building a bit more. So like I was pulling things out from the 50s, from the 70s, from the 80s. Under like lino in the kitchen, there was like 80s newspapers. Then like I found a few coins. I found, when I like cleared out the fireplace, I was like, maybe I'm going to find like a treasure box or something. And there was a box, but it was literally just filled with soil or dirt or something like that. I was like, this is great. So I didn't come across anything like majorly exciting other than maybe a few coins. And it was fun like reading the old newspapers, and I still have some of them, but I just haven't done anything with them.
Yeah, it's like reeling in the ears.
Yeah, I know. I get distracted when I'm doing things, yeah.
So you bought the home in late 2022. And the plan was paint the living room, paint it white.
Yeah.
And then live in it.
I was ready to move in like straight away that first day.
Yeah.
In the dark of November. I went with my mum and I was like, okay, maybe I'll come back tomorrow with my stuff. And she's like, just kind of like hang on there. So the next day I went with my sister and we started like stripping wallpaper like straight away. And then obviously like I knew I wasn't going to move in straight away, but I kind of did think, okay, I'll just like paint a couple of rooms white, I'll live in them, and then I'll tip away at getting other things. I'll like try save up for some bigger work and see how I go. But that isn't what happened. So like that weekend, then my brother came over and he came over to help strip some wallpaper. And when he was stripping the wallpaper, then like this is the thing with old houses, like if you take the wallpaper down, you uncover everything. So like taking the wallpaper down and then the plaster would just crumble underneath. So the whole hallway, we ended up taking all the plasterwork down in the hallway that weekend, and it was just like back to brick. It was so grim, it was so grey, it was so cold, and then the fun started.
So that was it kind of immediate then you realised, there's a bit of work to be done here?
Yeah, I was like, there's no chance I'm going to be living here by Christmas. So yeah, we just had to like get on with things. Basically then just try strip it back and then see what was left and then what we could go for. But I kept having to strip back more and more and more.
I can't wait to talk about all of the plot twists.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I was going through your Instagram, I felt like I was watching a really good TV show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, another plot twist. So you said that buying the house was an emotional response. You just knew that it was home. So what was it about it that gave you that confidence?
I just liked where it was. The street seemed really nice. My dad walked around one day and got speaking to people. They'd all been there on the street for like 15, 20 years. It was a period house, which was like such a bonus. I always wanted to live in a red brick house. It was like my dream from growing up. So like once that was in my price range, I was like sold. You couldn't talk me out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And you know, like it had what I wanted. It had a little garden there. It had potential to have a slightly bigger garden. And it just had so much potential that I could really make it my own.
And I actually learned a lot from reading your blog. So you talked about the 15-minute city concept, and you talked about like that now, getting into the community, kind of testing the waters and imagining your life there. So going to the cafes, going to the bars. And I saw as well, your dad was invited into neighbours' houses to go look at what they'd done to see what you could do.
Yeah, my dad's the most friendliest person ever. So he was just going around. Yeah, he'd just be like, even when he comes in to like help with something in the house, he'll like stand at the front door, get chatting to someone, and then they'll usually like invite him into his house, into their house. But yeah, he went in and saw different neighbours' houses, and like they invited me into their houses as well, and like showed me what they had done, their layout and all that kind of stuff, which was really helpful. And then like I think that's really important when you're looking to buy somewhere or even like to rent and you don't really know the area. Like obviously I've lived in Dublin for most of my life, but I didn't really know North Strand. So like I spent like a few days there just like walking around the different streets, going to the cafes, and just got a real good sense of the place. So that was really important,
Very good. So you were clear on what you wanted, period property, 2-bedroom, small garden, but you compromised on location, and then as it transpired, you changed your floor plan to a 1-bedroom. But how important is it to know your non-negotiables before you buy?
Yeah, I suppose it was kind of dictated by price in the end. Like my family's from Sutton, so I was trying to be out that kind of way. But then like I work in Dublin 8, so it was always a trek to get in. So I was anywhere between Dublin 8 and Sutton, Hove, that kind of area. And I was obviously priced out pretty quickly buying by myself. And then what was only really on offer around like Sutton and Hove kind of area was like apartments, but I knew I wanted a house. So like I had my list that I did want like 2 bedrooms. Ideally, I wanted a little house with a little garden. And then an added bonus would be like a period property, and just kind of depended on the location. I was open to going wherever. Like I was looking, like East Wall, Cleaster, Clontarf. I was considering like Portmarnock. I was like going like as far as field as I needed to. So yeah, like I think it's important to like write down what you want, but then be open to like some changes.
Yeah. So you've been really honest about surveys online as well, the information that you can access about a property online, especially with period properties. So for someone listening who's considering a fixer-upper and a renovation, what would you want them to go into it knowing from your own experience?
That it will take all the money that you've ever earned and then some. But no, like you can get your survey before you buy the house, but they don't see everything. They don't pull up the carpets, they don't take down the wallpaper. So they can only see like if there's a very obvious crack in the wall or there smells like damp. So like a lot of things are hidden. And then also when you're looking to buy, it's really handy that you look on like the Dublin City Council website and you can see if like your neighbours have done work previously or there's something like due to be built right beside you. That's kind of like handy to know as well. And then, like an old house, I obviously knew there was going to be work that needed to be done, but you don't really know until you start uncovering things. So just to have a contingency, an emotional contingency and a financial as well. Yeah.
So once you got the keys, you were straight into demolition. You were demolition in November as well. Yeah. So what was the first thing you ripped out?
Yeah. So the first one was like the wallpaper in the front room. Me and my sister were there like pulling things and we were going just from room to room, kept pulling up wallpaper. And then when my brother came over, we were pulling down the wallpaper in the hall and then the plasterwork. And then we moved into, we were all just like, my whole family was in like that, like first week. I got to like smash up old cabinets and things like that. So that was quite fun. And then like pull up like carpets. Yeah. So it was like really fun stripping it all down. But then it just kept going on and on.
And there were definitely moments where your plan just completely changed. So the living room floors.
Yeah.
The damp in the plaster. Your staircase as well. I saw when you were going to keep the staircase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And eventually that had to go. So how did you cope with the surprises? How did you handle like just the constant shock?
I suppose like I just had to accept things and move on. Like there was no point dwelling in things and I needed to make decisions to move on to the next step. So yeah, like the floorboards, like when I first pulled up the carpet, I was like, okay, this is great. I'll sand these down. This will be fantastic. And then like I had damp survey in, and then there was like wood rot in some of the floorboards. And then they had to come up, and like my upstairs bedroom, I had spent like 2 evenings, really long evenings, pulling up every single nail that was in the wooden floorboards, and then that all had to go eventually as well. So it was disheartening, but like you just do have to keep going. And like the staircase, I was pretty sad about that because there wasn't many original features in the house. There was only a bit of cornicing in the front room, and then the staircase, which was hidden behind this kind of like fake plasterboard kind of stuff. And then I found like original spindles and everything like that. That was really nice. But then because I needed to have the house insulated, and then because it was damp, the staircase it wasn't up to code as well. It was like really, really steep, and it was like falling apart. So it had to come out. So I was sad about that, but it was quite epic when myself and my mum took down the staircase.
It was like, yes, let's go, girls.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. And then like chopping it up and everything like that. But
it was so fun to see you online as well. Like you might have been like cautious at the start, and then you were fully just smashing down your shed.
Oh, I know. I was so cautious at the start. Like, what can I take down this wallpaper? What will happen? And then, your confidence just grows the more that you do. And like, I was linking in with, like, I have a builder, and he was very good at giving me advice about what I can do or couldn't do. So like, I wasn't doing anything like too wild or anything like that. But you definitely grow your confidence. You know, like if you knock down one wall, the next time you do it, you're like more efficient doing it. You're stronger doing it. So you just, you can grow and like take on more challenges then.
Love it. So you were always very positive, and you said sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. So how did you stay positive? What did you do to get yourself out of what was so current in your life at the time? What was your escape from it all?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, like, I knew I could really visualize what my house was going to look like at the end, like especially like my sitting room. I was like, I know I'm going to be in here, and I know it's going to be really nice. And like I was buying little things. So like even that, I was like, okay, I'll put this in this place. That kind of helped motivated me. But like, obviously it was a very long process, but I knew it was going to take a very long time once I started uncovering all the problems. Like I didn't have a huge amount of money to be able to do everything all at once. So it was going to take its time. And I wanted the end result. So I just had to keep going. Yeah. So that was it. And there's no point being like too miserable about it, too upset about it. Like you just have to keep going. Otherwise,
otherwise you're just never going to live there.
Exactly.
And what's the point then? And as well, you're very thrifty. With your bits and pieces. So you've that lovely table. I don't know if you'd say that it's a flower on the base of it, but it looks like a flower to me. Yeah. That little side table that you have in your
in my kitchen kind of area.
Yeah. So was that something that you found kind of solace in, going out and kind of thrift shopping?
Yeah. Like I love all shopping.
So fair.
I'm an excellent shopper. So I love going secondhand shopping, going to markets, antique stores. I like mixing like old stuff in with new stuff, more contemporary things as well. So it doesn't look too kind of granny-ish or anything like that. But I think like nothing gives me more joy than finding something really cool in like a secondhand store. It's just so much fun.
Yeah. And I love the story behind these things.
Yeah.
Like who used that before and what did they use it for? I think it's so interesting. So the renovation took much longer than you expected. Can you explain how giving yourself more time helped you as you went along? So floor plans and all of that, and I suppose learning as you went. What were the positives to it taking longer?
So some good things was when I lost the back of the house, which was very traumatic, like the entire
really
back wall of the house had to go. So that was very unexpected. I had originally had a different kind of layout for my kitchen and window plan, but then seeing how bright and airy, because like it was literally just an open wall, that made me change my window plan and my kitchen plan as well. And then also I lost the back of the house, but I also lost the upper floor as well. So all the joists had to go. So like, at one stage, it was like standing in a church. It was just, I could see up to the roof and everything. So because of that, I was able to make my bedroom a little bit bigger. And then another sad thing is that I had to get all the joists replaced upstairs as well, but I was able to raise my ceiling up a little bit. So that gave me a bit more ceiling height upstairs. So that was the silver linings to all those terrible situations. Yeah.
And budget. So you said at one time, all of your money was going into unglamorous underfloor heating, insulation, all of that. So how do you keep motivated when your money's going into wiring, plasterboard, insulation, instead of sofas, paint and all the fun stuff?
Yeah, I suppose you have to have a good foundation of having the house very comfortable for everything to work outside of that. So, I needed to have a nice, warm, protected house. So that my things could eventually look really nice there. So that's what I had to keep reminding myself. And that's probably what influenced a lot of like my choices in furniture and things like that, because I couldn't afford to spend loads of money on furniture. So I did thrift and I did get secondhand stuff. I have things that belong to family and things like that. So that probably helped in a way to guide my aesthetic as well.
The floral couch is fabulous.
Yeah, I love that.
Did you say that was like €60?
I got it for €100.
Yeah.
Or 150, I can't remember. But they saved it, they kept it in storage for about 9 months, a year or something like that for me. I was like, oh, I love this couch. I'll get it like next week. And then I was like, oh no. They were so nice. So it's a 1960s floral sofa. And yeah, it's like one of my favourite things in the house for sure.
I love it. And your colour scheme generally, the pink.
Yeah.
What is it about pink?
I just love pink.
You love
pink? I wouldn't say like I wear a lot of like bright pink clothes or anything like that. I just think like a nice soft pink is just so feminine. It's so lovely. It's so calming. It's me. So like, yeah, like my pink sitting room is, even though it is quite pink, like I have pink walls. I got a rug from here that's pink. I have like my pink floral sofa. I don't think it feels overly pink.
Not at all, no.
I have like a white sofa as well that helps balance it. But it just feels soft and feminine. So
I love the tile, and you've got the same tile in your powder room as your bathroom, your main bathroom, right?
They're slightly different, but they're the same kind of like tone. Got them from the same place. And yeah, I tiled my downstairs loo, which took me forever. That was a terrible job that I did on that, but yeah.
I can see it's in your eyes when you're talking about something. You're just like, it was awful.
I had such a vision for that downstairs powder room, and it just took so long to come about. But like, it is lovely now, and I've got lovely House Packley wallpaper, floral, so it's very fun and everything.
I love a good WC though. Yeah, I love a fun wallpaper, splash of colour, all of
like,
that.
It is tiny. Like you could just about like step into it, but you get everything done that you need to in there.
Exactly. What more do you want? So your house is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's around 65 square metres?
Yeah. So, yeah.
But it feels so spacious, and like that, how bright your kitchen living area at the back is, your garden space as well. What was the biggest challenge for you when you were designing a compact space, and what compromises did you make?
I suppose like it doesn't really matter about your square meters. It's about how you use them and what like your workflow is throughout the house. So I thought an awful lot about how I was going to like redesign the layout and everything. So like to do that, I was online, I was looking through other houses in the area that had been sold, what they had done with their floor plan, and then I was thinking about how I wanted to use it. I knew it was south facing at the back, so I wanted like my living quarters to be at the back. But then I had the lovely high ceilings in the front, so I don't have a second bedroom that would be a second bedroom. I can convert that into a second bedroom if I want to. But for me, I didn't want to have a housemaid or anything like that. I just wanted to have a beautiful house all to myself. Yeah. So I have that nice sitting room at the front, and then like there was like wasted space in the house. So like I made the hallway I brought the steps to the lower ground floor to the front of the house a bit more to like reduce wasted space. I made the WC a bit smaller, and then obviously I moved the bathroom upstairs as well. So that was like the main thing to get into the house was a bathroom. So that was like my main priority. And then just using the light as much as possible. And I made windows bigger. Like I made the window in my bedroom bigger, and then like the window in the bathroom I made a bit smaller, but it had to do that to make it work. And like I could have had a second bedroom upstairs, maybe put a bathroom downstairs, but it would have been really pokey upstairs and it wouldn't have worked for me. And like that, as I said, like the front room can be a bedroom if needed, but like mostly now like friends don't really stay as much. They're all like living around Dublin or with family and things like that. So I didn't really need to have a spare room. And if I had a spare room, I think it would just be filled with clothes and it would go to waste.
And I think a lot of people maybe think of other people when they're doing their house. But you're a testament to do what you need and how you're going to live.
Exactly.
So if you want a big spacious bathroom that has the gorgeous pink tile and it's the perfect get ready with me space, do that.
Exactly. Like you're the one that's living there.
Yeah.
So like it's your house, make it your home.
Yeah, totally. What advice would you give to someone living in a smaller home who feels limited by the space and the footprint?
I suppose what's important in a small home is like storage, or also getting rid of things that you don't need. Having furniture that's not too big for the space. Having kind of a cohesive look throughout as well. That makes it feel a bit more like kind of like together and everything. And yeah, making use of the light, making smart decisions, thinking about how you walk through the home, don't have like unnecessary things in the way. I think a small home is absolutely like fine. We don't need these big massive houses. Like you see all these American people online, their houses are so big and I think like their step count must be insane. But a small home can work. It's just about how you use it. mainly like your storage, which I'm still working on my storage as well. I'll always be working on my storage.
And you've got your bedroom. You're going to be doing a bedroom
Yeah,
rejig.
definitely.
What are you thinking?
So like I went with green for my bedroom, which I like, but I think I wanted to do something a bit different that wasn't like so pink. So I think my heart has always been saying pink or light, but then I decided to try something different. And I think I just want it more cloud-like and airy now. And I need to get some wardrobes built as well. So that's going to be my job now over the next few months.
Nice. Cloud as in cloud dancer?
Just like, I don't know.
I had to slot it in there, the cloud dancer of it all. That's exciting though. We know I'm following along. So there was a real turning point in your renovation when the colour went on the walls and you started putting in your mist coat and the flooring went down. So do you remember the moment where it started to really feel like home rather than a building site?
Yeah, there's a few kind of days. Like the first day that I did the mist coat downstairs in my kitchen living area, the floors were in, and like it was still such a building site. But because it had been so grey and grim for so long, having like white on the wall, I was like, this is stunning. This is the most beautiful room I've ever been in. But like, I mean, there was just like builder stuff everywhere around it. And then I moved into the house in July 2024, I think it was. And like I just spent a day kind of like carving out a corner of one room for myself, hanging some pictures, getting like some flowers in a vase, and like one half of the room was literally all my paint, all the builder stuff, all that, and then one half was like lovely and girly and everything like that. And I was like, okay, this is it. Yeah, we're home.
Aww. And your style is really layered. It's kind of vintagey, and you've got pops of colours, and you don't really follow the rules either, which is great. So how do you think people can avoid feeling intimidated by interior design?
I think just do what suits you. Like there's no point following too closely to trends or anything like that. They go out of style. Incorporate things that you love. Like if you go on holidays and you see like a really nice ceramic, take that home with you, and then you'll always have that memory of your holiday in your home. But you can build upon things like, so you could focus on like maybe you're like a rug that you really like, and then you build upon that, like so what colours will go with that for a couch or a cushion. If you're too afraid of colours, go for pops of colours in like your cushions or some artwork instead of like painting your walls. But I wouldn't be afraid of colour as well. Sometimes like it just adds a lot more vibrancy and life to the room as well, or to the house. So like, and then if you're interested in like getting into like vintage or anything like that, you can just start small. Like you could buy a vase, you could buy a dish, and then like you don't have to be going in and buying like a Victorian sofa or anything like that. But there's so many nice things out there, and like obviously to be a bit more sustainable, it's a good way to shop as well.
And as well, I think people are starting to get a lot more confident in their skills when it comes to upcycling. Like you see people now all the time are buying, I love dark wood Victorian furniture.
Yeah.
And I've seen people do some really cool things with like painting them now. And
yeah.
So I think sometimes as well, it's like, just go on Pinterest, get inspiration and just be creative.
Yeah.
Like what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, and like most of like if you're buying secondhand furniture and upcycling, it's all pretty cheap anyway. So if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So looking back now, what did you learn about yourself during the renovation?
Maybe I'm more patient than I thought I ever was. I suppose I'm more, not that I didn't think I was positive. No, like I've always been a positive person, but like I was very positive throughout the entire thing. So that was kind of nice to find out about myself. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like the whole renovation, it was always something I knew I wanted to do. Like I'd always watch those like English shows or people buying like French chateaus. And I thought like, if they can do it, why can't I do it? So I was really glad to be able to like put myself to the test and to try it out, and then to learn so many new skills, and then to have the motivation to keep going as well.
And how much did online kind of play in a part?
Yeah, that was good because it helped me be accountable. Like, because there'd obviously be some times where like I couldn't think of anything worse than going to the house and putting on paint clothes. But like I had said last week, I'll show you a painted room by the end. So it was like, I have to get this done.
Yeah.
So it was good for that. And it was also really reassuring as well. I got so many nice comments, so many nice messages, just like so much encouragement. And then like seeing other creators online as well and what they can do. It's like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. We're all starting from the same place as well. So it's only been positive for me.
Yeah. And I think it's nice where you probably started off being inspired by other people. Like, do you have people now will come to you as a source of advice and they're like, how did you do that? And how did you do this?
Yeah, but I don't know how good I am. I'm still learning from my own mistakes. So yeah, but I do share like if I've, whatever I've done, what I did wrong with it and what I did like well in it. So like we can all learn together.
Yeah, exactly. And we all get things wrong. So that's the joy of it. So if you could go back and speak to yourself the day you got your keys, what would you say to yourself?
I actually don't know. Would I just say, like, be patient, try not to spend money on stupid things, just put more of it into your house. And I don't know, just be like, it will work out. It's going to be fine. It might just take longer than you thought it was. There'll be ups and downs, but just keep going and it will work out.
Love it. And your paint colours as well are amazing.
Yeah.
I saw that fab video you did with the Heritage Dulux paint range.
Oh, yeah. So I have, that's the pink, Potter's pink in my sitting room. And then I have another pink, it's called Billowing Clouds upstairs in my bedroom. Then I have the green in my bedroom, the pink in my bathroom. And then I've just gone white in the hallway, which I might change as well. But again, the thoughts of like painting the ceilings are like 13 foot high. They're very hard to get around to. So maybe in the summertime I might look at that. Yeah.
Nice. Well, stay tuned on Instagram, guys. Okay, so quick fire round.
Okay.
What is your favourite song that you've on repeat at the moment?
Oh God. At My Most Beautiful, REM. I've been playing that a lot.
So favourite movie or one you could watch over and over again?
I've got a few movies that I watch on repeat, like Pride and Prejudice, just be on in the background. Kill Bill is one of my favourites.
Love.
I really enjoy the Dakota Fanning Persuasion, even though there's bits of it that I hate, but I also still love it as well. And that's kind of like my comfort movie. I'll always, every few weeks, I'll pretty much put that on.
Favourite cafe or coffee spot in Dublin?
So I live right beside Cloud Cafe in North Strand, and that's so good for food. Like, it's really affordable and they always have like specials. So it's a good, like, you can change it up like every single time that you're there. And then I love BB's in Portobello, mainly because I just love sitting at the window and watching people walk by and looking at all the nice houses. The food's great as well.
Favourite holiday destination or a place that really inspires you?
I love Paris. I haven't been now in a good few years, but that's like the most beautiful place you could ever go to. And just even just people watching, seeing what they're wearing. There's so much beautiful interiors, so many gorgeous shops. It's absolutely fantastic. So I definitely need to go again soon.
What does the feeling of home mean to you?
I suppose it's just feeling like safe, comfortable, walking into an environment that is me, that I feel like I'm surrounded by all my lovely things and I'm happy. So,
well, thank you.
Thanks.
That was great. Thank you for joining us on Style Stories with Easy Living Interiors. You can hear all the news, including links to more information, in the description area of this podcast. Please share our show with a friend who might enjoy it. Simply search Style Stories with Easy Living Interiors on Apple, Spotify or YouTube. This podcast is produced by justpod.io for Easy Living Interiors.